Previously on Lunar. Willow has Christopher as her father figure. She wants to be part of the Moonwood Collective so bad. She's a writer, and she loves how it's possible to do everything at home. Chris and Lily tried to set her up with another werewolf, but they didn't like each other. She's trying hard to be part of the pack, but somehow she already feels part of it. One day, she was walking at night, like she likes to do sometimes, and she saw Greg attacking this man and helped him. Now she's taking him home to help him.
Where do we go?
The man was feeling so embarrassed about what happened. Willow tried to calm him down. She said she would take care of him. They should go inside. And now, more than ever, he was feeling embarrassed. She was helping him clean his wounds and putting bandages where it's necessary. But for this, he had to be almost naked. He was uncomfortable and in pain. He asked her to go easy, because everything hurts. She said he could sleep in her bed tonight. But he asked her to stay with him. Everything was so scary and new to him. She said she would figure it out by the morning. But he insisted. Her heart pounding at his touch. He whispered a plea to her. She stayed beside him until he fell asleep. That night, she slept on her doorstep. I don't know why. She also tried to use a better sleepwear because of the cute guy that was sleeping in her home. He woke up and he was trying to help her out somehow. He was still in pain. Maybe it was worse than the other night. He didn't know where she was, so he decided to read a book. When she woke up, she said they should leave to see Christopher. He was trying too hard not to look at her. Her nightgown was inviting, but he wanted to be respectful. She explained what happened last night and how she helped him. She asked if Chris knows anything about the Werewolves. He said he does, but he wanted to see if it was possible to help him right now, if it wasn't too late. Christopher, for some reason, doesn't like him. Maybe it's because he sees Willow as his daughter, and he doesn't know anything about the man. Also maybe because he spent the night at her house. Christopher told her to take him to Celine. While he went to the bathroom, Willow explained what happened to Celine. Celine said she can help him with the cure. Willow assured him that everything would be fine. And he felt better instantly. He thanked her for everything, but he had to go. Where do you go? Willow waved goodbye, and he lingered as if he didn't want to go. When she got home, she felt it a tad empty. Even if he just spent a night there, she doesn't know how to explain it. She went to the hangout spot again to report that everything worked out well. But she told them she feels weird, like if it wasn't right. Christopher said it was the right thing to do. Being a werewolf is a curse. And if the person can avoid it, it's best if they do. Willow was still upset, and Chris said she was being irrational. She's a people pleaser, and she sees him as her father, so she said he was right. She prepared something for them to eat. After that, she wanted to think about everything that happened this past day. Why does she feel that way about a guy she saw just once? It was probably because she thinks he was sweet. She's been around werewolves her entire life, and seeing a guy blushing because she was seeing him in his underwear was refreshing. Because werewolves usually lose their clothes when they transform, so it's not a big deal for her seeing a man naked. There's nothing she can do now that he's gone. She sat on her piano and practiced for a while. Later, she was trying to crack the codes on this book when she noticed a man watching her while she was reading. She snarled at him so he'd go away. And she has finally unlocked the Lunar Epiphany. She worked on her first children's book called Tiny Wolf. She knows she's too young, but she dreams about the day she's gonna have her own family. Willow told Chris about her new book, and he told her he was proud of her. She now has the adoring sentiment towards him. She asked him to calm her down, like he has been doing for all these years. But he said she's a woman now, not a girl. She needs to learn it by herself. She went back home for a nap when she heard a howl in front of her place. She doesn't know this werewolf. All of those years with the Moonwood Mill Collective, she learned how to pacify others. She was shocked to see who was the werewolf. He was embarrassed to be there again. While he was taking a bath, she brewed some coffee. She wants some answers. He was taking too long in the bathroom. She knocked, and he said she could get inside. He's not used to his new strength, and he felt bad that he broke her bathtub. After fixing her bathtub, he grabbed some coffee and told her what happened. He went to Moonwood Mill mistaken. He is from Brindleton Bay. And he was heading to Windenburg. He's a street singer, and he had a gig there. But he got lost on the woods. And she knows what happened with Greg. After that, she knows what happened. She helped him, and he's thankful. But when they said goodbye, he got lost again, and he asked a man some info. And like he said, he's not good with directions. He was totally lost again. Turns out, the man was a werewolf, and he was with a blue-haired girl. And she turned him. He tried to find the girl at the bar, but she wasn't there. And then he didn't want to bother Willow again. And then it was quicker than the last time. Soon he became a werewolf, and then he was at Willow's place. He wasn't thinking. It just happened. And his first impression on Willow is that he has a crush on her. After he told her what really happened on both nights, he said he can't go home, and his family would never want to see him again. She said he could stay here until he finds a better place to stay, and she would help him understand who he is now. She prepared something for them to eat.
It's a reflection of you and
It was time to sleep, and again she told him he could stay in her bedroom. Next day, she would talk to Christopher and see if he can borrow him some clothes. In the morning, he made coffee for them. She said it wasn't necessary, but he was glad to make it for her. She was at the point she couldn't speak Simlish anymore. She tried to explain the situation about Edward. Yes, she found out his name. But Christopher couldn't understand. At this point, she just wants him to pacify her. But he really wants her to do it by herself. It's part of her training. She let out a somber howl, which helped her, and he said he's proud. But her fury was still high. Lily saw everything, and after Christopher left to get some clothes, she pacified Willow. She thanked Lily. She still needed to wait for Chris to come back with clothes for Edward. She's feeling part of the pack more and more. She thinks it's time. He was back. She demanded it was time to be part of the pack. Christopher wants to make sure she understands what it means to be part of the Moonwood Mill Collective. She says she does, and he welcomed her. She was back, and she told him she brought some clothes, but it wasn't much. He said he's gonna find a job to help her and to buy his stuff. She said it was a good thing, and she needed some rest. He just nodded, and she walked in her room. He took a bath before wearing his new clothes. He's happy because even if this is a curse, he's glad to be around her. He went to her room to see if she was still asleep. He just knows something is blooming inside him towards Willow. It's not just a crush. Is she feeling the same? He wonders.
We were just